And as you say, this is the last piece of employment data that they will see before its first interest rates meeting. But how soon do you think, in terms of reaction from today, do you think it's kind of a wait and see closer to when they do meet?
Yeah, look, I don't think there's much in this that will change their minds either way. And again, we don't really know what they're thinking and saying. We've read their notes, we've heard Michele Bullock speak, but we don't really know how close they are or thought they would be by this time in the cycle to start cutting rates. But there's nothing really here to change their minds. If they thought the labour market was too strong, it still is. If they're not worried or not so worried about it, then there's nothing else to worry them either. The creation of jobs is a good thing. We hope to create jobs most of the time because there are more people in Australia of working age. And so you need to create more jobs, particularly when the population's growing. So those things are really positive. The flip side, as I've already said, is whether they see that as too strong, too positive, too much pressure on inflation. That'll remain to be seen. And of course, we've already heard from S&P earlier in the week talk about the impact on the state budgets of wage rises, if and when they do come through in the private and public sectors, and how much impact that'll have on the RBA's thinking also remains to be seen. So plenty for them to consider. More data to come out too. We'll see more retail sales data. We'll see another monthly inflation read. So there's a lot more to come before they have to make that call. But yeah, as I said, nothing in today's data to change their minds. Whichever way they're already going to go, I suggest this is pretty much just going to be grist for the mill.
Okay, and what about the Aussie dollar? How has it reacted to today's news?
It's always a challenge to the dollar. It's actually been coming back the last couple of days. We had a nice rise overnight of 0.5%. So realistically, again, not much in the way of instant response to the news itself. Very much more, as we've talked about before, the impact is the US dollar strength rather than Aussie dollar weakness. Where the US dollar goes, other currencies are getting absolutely steamrolled on the way through. So it's going to be a US story, I think, for a while yet. Of course, an inauguration coming up in only a few days' time, and then what happens after that will be what the market is watching.
Absolutely. Plenty to watch out for. Scott Phillips, as always, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Lucy.